What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'm finally getting around to doing a full review on one of Mercedes-Benz's best fragrances, and Mercedes-Benz Le Parfum. Many moons ago, I did a comparison review video between the original and the Intense, which are both known to have that Dior Fahrenheit-like DNA. This is a fresher, more citrus-based one. This is closer to Fahrenheit, maybe without so much leather, but definitely both really good, underrated fragrances. And then here we have the evolution of that with the Parfum Flanker that really makes it a much deeper scent. And I want to touch on that today with you guys, so stay tuned. So, first things first, is it redundant to have all three? A little bit, but they all offer something a little bit different from one another, where the original Mercedes-Benz by Mercedes-Benz, I think, is one of the most underappreciated, underrated, affordable fragrances money can buy. I think this is some of their best work. I've never smelled Fahrenheit cologne, but if I had to guess, that's what this smells similar to, because it's loaded with citruses. It's much fresher. It's an average to slightly above average performer. You get a lot of the fragrance. These are 4-ounce, 120 ml bottles. This is a really good fragrance. Then you have the Intense, which is a more intense take on it. This one's darker. This one's heavier on that petroleum violet leaf type of smell. You do get a little bit of the leather tie-in. From Fahrenheit, there's more spice here, darker elements. This is a lot closer to Fahrenheit. This is a banger. Great performer too, 8+ hours longevity, heavier side of projection for about 2 hours. This has always been really good. I can't say enough good things about both fragrances, but especially the Intense. Whereas when we move into this one, this is much more leather forward. It's darker. You still get that petroleum violet leaf, violet type smell that really ties it to Fahrenheit. But there's a synthetic oud here, gives it a more of a woody oriental nuance that really ties in with this leather accord that you get. There's a nice hit of some spices. It's just the best of the bunch. It really is. And look, I've put off getting this bottle for a long time. This was a procrastination. I used to work at Mercedes-Benz. We used to have testers of these fragrances. I used to smell this all the time. I just put off getting it for a long time. You can still get in the $40 range. This is absolutely a gem, a true hidden gem. There's people in the know that know how good this fragrance is in the online community, but it still doesn't get a big spotlight shined on it. If you want, now, I'm not going to say the closest representation to Fahrenheit. I think this is a closer representation. This has other nuances that it offers. Like I said, much more oriental, synthetic oud forward, but overall, I would say it's every bit of 80% of Fahrenheit's DNA. There's some earthier, darker, spicier elements. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful scent profile. I would highly encourage checking this one out. Admittedly, not going to be for everyone, but in many ways, this is Mercedes-Benz's best work. Now, as far as performance, it's not shy. You're going to get your money's worth here. You're going to get beyond your money's worth, because this one is 8+ hours. So obviously, that can span anywhere beyond 8 hours. It's realistically around 10, 11 hours is what I get on my skin. It is the longest lasting of the bunch for me. It does act like a parfum. And then speaking of acting like a parfum with projection, it's not a room filler. It's on the moderate to heavy side. If you spray this one heavier, it's a relatively thick fragrance. There's a pretty hefty density to this one. It could potentially choke you out here if you overspray it. Less is more with this one. This one, because of the way the profile is and the way it wears, I would encourage being moderate at best. Like, this is a 5 if you really want to push it. 7 spray fragrance, and I mean, that's a lot at 7 sprays, I find. I think you really get away with 3 to 5 and you're achieving the desired effect. People will smell you. You'll smell you the entire time, because the sillage here is on the moderate side. You'll constantly get whiffs to remind you. It's not moderate to mild where it's just a light occasional reminder. It's pretty often when you make certain movements and everything. I wouldn't encourage spraying in front of you. sides, rear, maybe elbows, wrists, stuff like that. Stuff that's not going to be directly under your nose, not chest and front of your neck. I wouldn't recommend that. Do what you want. Just my recommendation here. So across the board, it's not quite a beast, but it's like one tick back. Final thoughts on Mercedes-Benz Le Parfum. This is a phenomenal fragrance. It really is. For designer level, car company fragrance, it's some of the best work money can buy, especially in the $40 to $50 price bracket, and you're getting plenty of fragrance for your money. 4-ounce, 120 ml bottle. This is an outstanding fragrance. This is a 9 out of 10. It is. It is the best of the three that smell like one another, because you have EDT, Intense, and Le Parfum. There's other flankers. There's a silver flanker. There's the Cologne flanker that was hyped to death for so many years that's been discontinued. There's the sport flanker that's been discontinued for a long time. Look, they all have merit. They all have use. They all are really, really good. But this, to me, hands down, the best of the bunch, the most interesting of the bunch, and for some, probably the most challenging of the bunch. And that altogether, cumulative score with the way it performs, it's a 9 out of 10. Well, that's my thoughts and feelings on Mercedes-Benz Le Parfum, an all-time great from the brand. It really is. And I'm excited to see if they continue things with this line further. The most recent being Mercedes-Benz Ultimate, very green, aromatic, woody fragrance. It's actually quite nice. I would encourage checking that one out as well. They're all good. Any of them in this bottle, this cylinder style bottle, they're all pretty good fragrances, I gotta say. You can't go wrong with these Mercedes-Benz line fragrances. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have tried this one? What do you think about it? Are you a fan? Do you prefer one of these more? Totally get it. Again, sure, there's redundancy here, but there's an evolution of profile and different scenarios and seasons for use with these. For about $110, $120, you can have all three, and it's actually 12 ounces of fragrance. And you got your summertime wear, your professional wear, your evening standout. This could be evenings as well. This is more cooler weather. Like, you cover all the bases with evolution of this profile just between these three fragrances. Really good stuff, honestly. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of those three, especially Mercedes-Benz Le Parfum, and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.